we will be looking at a SwiftOS section provided in the Swift documentation. The Hello World example given here is a complete Swift program. Code written at global scope is used as the entry point for the program. So you don't need to write a main function. We use var keyword to declare a variable and let keyword to declare a constant. Here we can see that we declared a variable and assigned it a value of 42. Since it's a variable, we can change its value. Here on this line, we have changed it to 50. On this line, we have assigned a value of 42 to my constant. And since it's a constant, we cannot change its value once assigned. Swift compiler can infer the type of value being assigned to a variable or a constant. In Swift, we do not always have to write type explicitly. When we provide a value at the time of creation of a constant or a variable, the compiler can infer its type. For example, as we can see on line 23, we are assigning a value of 70 to a constant called implicit integer. This constant will be considered as an integer. In line 24, we are assigning a value of 70.0 to a constant implicit double. This constant will be implicitly considered to be of type double. This is because the value being assigned has a decimal portion, 70.0. In line 23, we are assigning a value of 70, hence it is being considered as an integer. In line 24, we are giving it a value of 70.0, hence it will be implicitly considered as a double value. In line 25, since we are assigning a value of 70, which will be implicitly considered as an integer, but if we want it to be a double, we'll have to explicitly specify double as its type. If you require that the value on line 24 should be a float value, you will have to explicitly declare it as a float. So in that case, you'll have to type colon and float after the name of the constant, because if left to the compiler, it will consider it as a double value. So a value without a decimal point will be implicitly considered as an integer. A value with a decimal portion will be implicitly considered by the compiler as a double value. Here on line 32, we are implicitly creating a string constant. This is considered as a string value because the text is surrounded by quotation marks. Values are not implicitly converted to another type. We can see in line 32, 33, and 34, we have a string constant called label. We have a width constant with a value of 94. Here in line 34, we are joining the two values to form a single string value by using the plus operator. But since width is an integer value, we have to explicitly convert it to string type so that the strings can be joined together. This is one way we can concatenate two strings using the plus operator. Another way of forming a string is by using backslash and the name of the variable or constant within the parentheses when we wish to have the value of the constant or the variable to be evaluated within the string itself. We can see on the right hand side, this string evaluates to I have 3 apples. The value of apples from line 41 is evaluated within the string. Here in line 44, we can see that the value of apples and oranges are added first and then the string is formed. The output of this line can be seen on the right hand side. I have 8 pieces of fruit. Sometimes we may wish to write a string on multiple lines. In that case, we'll have to begin and end the string with 3 quotation marks. We can create an array in Swift by enclosing the values within square brackets separated by comma. In Swift, like in most programming languages, the array index begins with 0. In line 59, we can see that we are changing the value of the second element, water, of the array to bottle of water. Now in line 61 to 64, we are creating a dictionary of values, and to create a dictionary, we enclose key and value pairs within square brackets separated by commas, and the key and value pair is separated by colon. On line 65, we are adding another key value pair to occupations dictionary, key being Jane and value being public relations. The size of an array automatically grows as we add more values to it. In line 69, we can see that we are appending a new value called blue paint to shopping list array. Now when we print shopping list, we can see the value of blue paint has been added to the array. To create an empty array of a type, we can specify the type within the square brackets and end the declaration with parentheses. Similarly, if we wish to create an empty dictionary, we can specify the type separated by a colon within the square brackets and end the declaration with parentheses. Since the type of data shopping list contain is known to the compiler because we had created it as an array of strings, we can reset the array by simply using the shorten method of assigning an empty array, and the empty array will be considered as an array of string. Similarly, for the dictionary called occupations, which was implicitly defined as type string colon string on line 61 here, we can simply use shorthand method of putting a colon between square brackets, and all the values from the occupations dictionary will be removed, and the occupations dictionary will now have 0 values. It will be a blank dictionary of type string colon string.